Hey guys, I said I was going to explain that triple overlapping set thing from last Sunday, and I figured the easiest way to do that is with a video. So just to refresh your memories on the situation, this was from an official practice test, and the question was something like this. So there was a survey of the popularity of three different foods with 75 students, and the results were that 48 like pizza, 45 like hoagies, 58 like tacos, 28 like pizza and hoagies, 37 like hoagies and uh, tacos, 40 like pizza and tacos, and 25 like all three. And the question is, what's the number of students who like none of those three or only one? So this is a triple overlapping set thing, so you can't just use the normal matrix that we like to use on the double overlapping sets. Um, with a triple overlapping set, you have to be like super careful with the wording, um, because when they say stuff like 28 like pizzas and hoagies, do they mean that includes the 25 who like all three, or do they mean when they say 48 like pizza, is that including the 28 who like pizza and hoagie, or do they mean there's 48 who like only pizza? You see what I'm saying? So you got to be like super careful with the wording on those. So I showed an equation last Sunday, but it turns out that equation doesn't really work for this one, and it's because of the wording thing. So depending on the wording and what groups they're specifying, you're going to have to use different equations. So I'm going to solve this twice. I'm going to use the old school sort of Venn diagram uh, way of solving it, and then I'm going to solve it with an equation, which is almost the same as the one I showed you last Sunday, but not quite. So first, the Venn diagram. So I would draw a Venn diagram, and on your paper, make sure you draw nice big circles. Make sure you have like plenty of space to work with, right? If you do it too small, then you're gonna have to like redo everything. So I think it's easiest if we start on the middle, right? This is the group of people who like all three. So I'm gonna label this pizza, hoagies, and tacos. So this part here represents people who like pizza and tacos. This part here is people who like pizza and hoagies, and you get the idea, right? Now this part here is people who like all three. Um, so I think it's easiest if you just start in the middle and sort of work your way out. So I know for a fact that 25 like all three. So I'm going to put 25 here, okay? Um, so that's out. Then I'm going to start with the doubles. So they say 28 like pizzas and hoagies. And when they say that, like I said before, I got to be really careful. Do they mean they like only pizzas and hoagies? Or, does this group include people who only like two things? Or can it be that they actually like all three? So the way they worded it, when they say 28 like pizza and hoagies, they mean they also included the triples, okay? People who like all three. So if 28 like pizza and hoagies, that's this thing here. So I would write a 28, okay? Except that included in that 28 is these 25 who like all three. So I'm going to subtract 25 from 28 and get 3, okay? And then I'm going to do something similar for these two. So 37 like hoagies and tacos, that's this group here. So I'll write 37, but then I'm going to subtract 25 from 37, and I got 12. 40 like pizzas and tacos, so 40 goes here, subtract 25, and I get 15. All right, so this is the same. Now this represents three people who like pizzas and hoagies, but they don't like tacos because they only this group here likes exactly 2. Okay. Now, similar logic, I'm going to fill in pizza and hoagie and taco thing. Okay. So I know that 48 like pizza. If I put 48 here, 48 includes, because of the wording, 48 includes the doubles and the triples. So I'm going to have to subtract this and this and this. So 15 and 25 makes 40, plus 3 is 43. So if I cross this out, I only got 5 left. This 5 is the group of people who only like pizza and they don't like anything else. All right, similar logic for these two. So 45 like hoagies, I'll put a 45 here, and I'm going to subtract 12 plus 3 is 15, plus 25 is another 40. So I'll subtract 40 from that, and I get 5. Only 5 people only like hoagies. Finally, the tacos. Tacos are delicious. So 58 people like those. I'm going to subtract this and this, which is another 40 plus 52. So I subtract 52 and I get 6. All right, so now every single one of these has been filled out. And when I'm just going to add these and see what I get. So if I add all these together, I'll start with the easy ones, okay? 15, 25 is 40, 45, 48, 53, 55, 65, 71. All right, so that's 71 people. But it says up here that there's 75 students total. So the missing 4, right? This must be 71 students plus the ones who don't like anything equals the total number of students surveyed, right? So obviously none, that's the people who don't like any, and none means there's 4 people who don't like any of these, okay? Traditionally on Venn diagrams, we would put like a 4 on the outside of these. That's people who don't like anything. All right, so I've got 4, and as I recall, one of the answer choices said 4, and you're meant to just circle 4. But the question is not how many like none. The question is the number of people who like none or only 1. All right. Well, who likes only 1? This group, and this group. So I just add these. 5 plus 5 plus 6 is 16. Add 16 to 4, and I get 20. And that's the correct answer. Okay, so the Venn diagram thing, the advantage, I don't know. I don't know what the advantage is. The disadvantage is it can be kind of confusing. Depending on the wording of the question, it may be a little unclear what to do, but you get the general logic. I would usually try and start in the middle and work my way out. Disadvantage, it can be confusing, and it really depends on the wording. This was a pretty straightforwardly worded problem. They gave us every possible group, and they didn't have any trickery involved. So the Venn diagram was fairly straightforward. Anyway, so desperate circumstances, you can do the Venn diagram thing. I'm going to do it again with an equation that I figured out. The equation basically, it's the algebra form of this Venn diagram, okay? So in this specific situation where there's no trickery and the group here includes this group and these singles include the doubles, here's the equation for that. I'm going to give you a general equation, okay? So the general equation is this, okay? Group A, so this means everybody who is in Group A, including the doubles and triples, plus Group B, plus Group C, minus Group AB, okay? And when I say Group AB, I mean people who are in both Group A and B. I don't mean Group A times Group B, okay? It's not A times B. It's just people who like both of these, minus the people who are in Group B and C, and then minus the people who are in Group A and C, plus the people who are in the triples, plus the people who don't like any of these things or in none of the groups, equals the total people. Okay, so this is a general thing. This is if you have a school and there's 500 people in the school, I would say 500 for the total, and then A is the number of people who speak Alsatian. B is the number of people who speak, British. I know that British is not a language, but whatever. C is the number of people who speak Canadian. And this is the number of people who speak Alsatian and British, right? British and Canadian, all that stuff, okay? None is the people who don't speak any of those languages. And ABC is the people who speak all 3. So anyway, you can use this for this general sort of problem. But again, keep an eye on the wording. All right, so I'm going to apply this to this situation, okay? So Group A is going to be pizza, all right? So I'm going to write it slightly differently, okay? I want to add this and this and this. So I'll put 45 plus, oops, keep it in order, 48 people like pizza, 45 people like hoagies, 58 people like tacos. I'm going to add those. Here's the doubles, right? So 28 people like these two, 37 people like these two, and 40 people like these two. I'm going to subtract all 3 of these. I might as well add this. One way I could do it is I could just add this in a normal sort of way, add this, and then subtract this from this. Or another way is I could look at these and subtract whatever looks easiest. Okay, so I'm going to do that. 48 minus 28 gives me 20. So I'm going to just write down 20. Let's see, 58 minus 37 looks easy to me, so I'm going to say that's 21. And 45 and 40, that's pretty easy. That's another 5. So 20 plus 21 plus 5 is 41, 46. So far I've got 46. Okay? I mean, I could have done this a little bit more conventionally and just added this and added that, but I just see these numbers and they're easy for me, okay? So I'm just going for speed. All right, so I've sorted out this whole top line. Now I need to add the triples. That's easy. That's 25. So 46 plus 25 plus none, and I don't know what that is, so I'm going to say plus n equals the total. Total is 75. So now I've got a simple algebra equation, and I can just sort this out. So, 46 plus 25 gets me 71. 71 from 75. This tells me that the people who like none is 4. Okay? Now, we actually need another equation, which is a pretty simple equation you might need on triple overlapping sets sometimes. And this equation basically is this. The people who are in none of the groups, the people who are in exactly one group, we'll call these the singles, the people who are in exactly 2 groups, I'll call that the doubles, and the people who are in all 3 groups, I'll call that the triples. And this has to equal the total number of people, right? So this means people who like exactly none of those 3 foods. These ones like exactly just one type of food. The doubles like exactly 2. These guys like all 3. Okay? Now, I know what none is already. I just figured that out. So that's 4. Triple, I already know that. I'm looking for single. I know total. Total was 75. I don't know double exactly, but I'm not too far off. Okay? So similar logic with the Venn diagram thing, but to know the number of people who like exactly 2, I'm going to look at, 28 people like pizzas and hoagies. If I subtract the triples from that, I'm going to get the people who like exactly 2. Okay? So 28 minus 25 is 3. So doubles is 3. 37 minus 25 is 12. And 40 minus 25 is 15. So these are the people who like exactly 2. I add these 3 together and I get 30. That's not right. Did something wrong. 40 minus 25 is 15. 37 minus 25 is 12. 28 minus 25 is 3. Let's see here. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, so this is 30. And the number of singles is, I don't know what that is, okay? So if I add 30 and 25, I get 55, plus 4 is 59. Subtract that from 75, and now I know that the singles is 16, okay? And the question is, how many people like none or exactly 1? So 4 plus 16 is 20, same answer as before. So hopefully that was informative. I know it took me like 15 minutes to explain. It doesn't mean it's going to take 15 minutes to do it. Now, this equation here looks similar to the one that I talked about last Sunday, but it applies to this because of the situation where they're including, the singles include the doubles, and the doubles include the triples. I'm actually going to make another video where I show where I got this equation from, okay? You don't really need it, but if you want it just for like sort of more advanced purposes or whatever, I'm gonna make a totally separate video. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like my YouTube channel.